KB experiment.
Welcome back. This is King Borris on the KB experiment. Want to say hello to everyone. Got someone on the phone with me, real special guy, Mcdojolife. If you haven't heard of him, you're going to hear about him again. Rob, how you doing, man?
What is up, man? Thanks for having me back. I appreciate it.
Oh, no doubt, man. I love what you're doing, and I want to support as much as I can. So today we're going to talk about the fundraiser that you have going, the documentary. Go ahead. So what is it called?
So we're raising funds we're basically crowdfunding a documentary on fake martial arts. So the goal is to kind of show the world of fake martial arts to people, how it works, how people fall into these traps, why it's more popular now than it ever really has been, why is it still going, and just kind of talk with psychologists about why people think they can knock people out with their mind. There's a guy named Lewis Martin who wrote a book. He was in a cult, martial arts cult, and got out. So we'll be interviewing him. We'll be talking to some of the best fighters in the world. So it's gonna be a good documentary.
That's pretty cool. Definitely someone that was in and then came out, like Scientology, same kind of thing. You know, somebody goes in, you live that life, and then after a while you realize, oh wait, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. And especially to talk about it from the inside out is it's better because they have more insight, and there's probably things we don't understand that they do. But let me ask you this: what's fake martial arts?
Well, so I have 5 different rules for Mcdojolife, and so to me, it's all about open, honest, and transparency in the martial arts. So the 5 rules are really simple. Pedophiles. There are a lot of pedophiles in the martial arts. A lot of people don't really get it. Like when they're like, oh, why is that a rule of the McDojo? Like, isn't that just common knowledge? No, it's really not. Like, and a lot of people don't know how many pedophiles really are in the martial arts community. And if you want proof of that, all you really have to do is just go to Google and type in martial art molestation.
I've never even heard of that, to be honest.
Yeah, I guarantee.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I guarantee you somebody last week most likely got arrested for it.
Wow. And then, you don't hear that on the regular news or nothing like that. And I mean, pedophilia is everywhere, so you always got to keep an eye out for it. But in the martial arts community, like, I didn't even think of that. So that right there is rule number 1 already blew my mind.
Yeah.
Rule number 2.
No touch knockouts, or things of that nature. So like there's a lot of people who believe they can poke you in the bicep and then poke you in the side of the head, and that will knock you unconscious.
Okay.
Or they believe they can knock you out by just, using their chi powers without even touching you. So that's pretty culty.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that you put up. And I mean, on my end, it's hilarious. But I know that in that world, it's not so funny because you're like, these people obviously really believe it, or they're faking it very well. I mean, the students, to have a mindset to accept that as real, like, that's hard for me to understand. But I mean, that's cult-like activity is things that I don't understand, and a lot of people don't.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's strange. It's a weird phenomenon in the martial arts community, and how many people just kind of don't really care to try to find out more about it. They just think that if they do the best they can, that it'll go away, when that's completely the opposite.
Interesting. Okay. Number 3.
Shady business practices and cult-like behavior. So like, for instance, martial arts instructors strong-arming their students for like payments, threatening them, taking them for thousands upon thousands of dollars when they only took like 1 month of a class. And then, of course, the cult-like behavior, like having students teach and work for them completely free, or, really taking advantage of the student because of the whole hiding behind the honor and integrity thing. It's quite ridiculous.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, there's a lot of vulnerable people out there, and I mean, you could take advantage of anyone. So I can see that happening, and anywhere that you take advantage of people is just not acceptable. I mean, period. So I'm with that.
Definitely.
Numero 4. What do we got?
Unsafe training practices. So you'll see this a lot with like guys who think they're doing street self-defense when it's really not. They'll have their guys fighting or sparring full contact on concrete without headgear, which is a huge risk and liability where somebody might get knocked out and hit their head on concrete and die. Or you'll see people who like hit their students with sticks when they don't do things correctly because they think like, oh, this is the old school way. No, it's not.
Right.
And then the other one is more common, which is something I see way too much, is the instructor will have their students line up and allow the instructor to punch them in the head with these because they're like helping them condition their chin. That's not going to do anything but actually hurt you.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I've seen that. You've put that up. Everything that you're talking about, you literally put videos up on your platform, because I watch all of it. And as you say it, I remember, when you put up, dude had everybody lined up and he's punching people in the face, guys and girls. And it's like, I don't care who you are. That's not right. Anyone with a sane mind will go, yeah, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
Number 5.
Lying about your belt rank or your fight record.
Okay.
So there's a lot of people who do this. Like, it's pretty common. People pretend they're black belts when they're really not, or they say they have this amazing fight record when they haven't. And a real good, I guess you could say, baseline of understanding lying about your fight record is Charlie Zelenoff. So Charlie Zelenoff says he has over 200 fights with no losses, but what he really does is he goes up to people in random gyms, hands them a set of boxing gloves.
Oh, yes, I know who
they're
you're
trying to put on the gloves. He punches them in the face. Yep. But there's also video of him getting beaten up. So, I mean, he's lost, I can tell you that.
You cannot hide these days. I don't understand what people are thinking. You cannot hide.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Everything's recorded everywhere. I'm surprised that there's certain things that haven't leaked yet in other platforms. Like when Hillary Clinton lost, somebody has to have a video or an audio somewhere, but you can't hide. This isn't 1980 or before where you can say, yeah, I fought here or there. You can never prove that stuff.
Yeah.
So I get it. So I remember one video that you put up. Dude went into the gym and was challenging somebody, and one of the fighters pretty much whooped his ass. And I forgot what video it was that you put up there, but he came in the gym and says, I guess I'll fight anyone, no gloves or nothing, but big.
Yeah, I remember that video. That I actually got to speak with him on the phone, and as we were chatting, he told me that was like a part of what he does to teach his students. I had asked him, I said, when you go into these places, what is your goal? And he said, I tell my students to watch because he doesn't have a martial arts studio. So he practices by himself. His students sit there on the sidelines and watch, which is ridiculous. And then he goes to these different open mats at martial arts studios and he kind of challenges the people to spar. And he's told me that the reason that he does that is because he wants to show his students what not to do. By him fighting the other people, the other people are showing the wrong thing. And it's like all these gyms, like every gym you go to, like they're all wrong. Come on, get out of here with that, man. But, that was something I spoke out against for both sides. I don't think you should take challenge matches inside your studio.
Right.
And I don't think it makes you look good. And especially if the person's not skilled at all. And I don't think you should go around challenging other studios.
I mean, the one that I did see, and it seemed respectful. Like, I know a lot of people talk shit about it, but I mean, dude went in, they consented to a fight. Dude rocked him a few times, but didn't keep attacking him when he saw he was hurt. He was like, all right, let me step back. Are you okay? He said, yeah, I'm good. Got up again, laid him back down, and then he stopped. The fighter could have plummeted him, but he didn't. So the fighter was respectful. And it looked like his demeanor was like, yeah, I'm just going to fight you. And if I don't see that you're up to my level, I'm not going to destroy you, which some people will do. So, and even after the fact, he's like, yeah, that dude knocked me out. Which was funny. But I mean, you were just showing what was going on. You weren't picking at anyone. And that's what a lot of people don't understand is Mcdojolife isn't picking on people. From my perspective, you're just putting what's out there. And a lot of times it's context. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? Let's talk about it.
Well, the idea is to have an open dialogue.
Right.
It's not my job to tell people what martial art they should and shouldn't do. It's just what I consider a public service to try to help guide people by showing them the options out there. There are people who think they can knock people out of their mind. There are people who are willing to accept challenge matches and beat the shit out of people who aren't as skilled. Right. It's all about an open dialogue, so that way people can have a better understanding about what decisions they would like to make. I'm all about open debate.
Very true. Very true.
All right, so I get people from time to time asking me how I record my podcast. And I tell them it's simple. I do it on my phone, and I have a plug-in speaker. All I need is a quiet space and my phone. And it's free. They have all kinds of tools to help you do it, to edit, to cut, to ad-lib, whatever it is that you want. And once it's ready and you upload, Anchor has you all set up where you post it or upload the audio once or the episode, and it'll distribute it across other platforms like Spotify or podcasts or Apple Podcasts. And I mean, it does it all for you, which is pretty neat because sitting there trying to upload stuff forever takes forever. And you can make some money. So there's sponsorships, no minimum listenership. I mean, it's pretty darn easy. It's everything you need to make a podcast in your pocket. So go download the free Anchor app and go hit anchor.fm and get your podcast started.
So, when do you think this documentary is, what's your timeline? When do you want it to be out in the public and ready to watch?
Well, I would love to have already been shooting. Like, we did a test film last year. That was our test run, and we actually did get some footage from a martial arts seminar that was ridiculous. They were teaching like how to project energy chi out of your palms and stuff. Mm-hmm. The guy at one time, I had asked him, I was like, oh, well, in most martial arts, there are like belt ranks. I go, do you have belt ranks in this martial art? And he said, no, there are levels. I said, okay, well, how many levels are there? He said there are 10. And I go, okay, that's pretty standard. And I go, well, who is level 10 in this martial art? Who is like the head guy? Oh, he goes, oh, no, there is no one has reached level 10 yet. The highest guy is level 7. He goes, humans can't achieve level 10. So that goes to give you just a little perspective on the type of stuff we'll be filming.
Understood.
But so we would like to have already been filming. It's completely 100% up to the crowdfunding right now.
Right.
The faster we reach our goal, the faster we can start filming.
And that's why I wanted to do this episode, because I'm a supporter and I want to see this. I want to see it grow. I've watched you for years now, and I've seen the growth. It's amazing. I love it and I support it. And I want other people to, even on my platform and any platform, to, support, because that's what we have to do as a community, support each other. So some people may not even know about this, and this is the first time they're being, they're hearing this. Where is it that they can, donate?
Well, if anybody would like to donate, they can do one or two things. I'm really adamant about saying this specifically this way. So Just give me a moment so I can kind of, get it all out. But
do it.
If people can't afford to really donate, then please don't. I don't want anybody to overextend their bounds. But with that said, we're only really need $1 from half of the people who follow Mcdojolife in order to make it happen. So that's not really that much we're really asking for. But at the same time, let's say you can't afford that. You can't afford $1 in your budget, which is fine. There are all kinds of perks in there if you can afford more, if you'd like to be more involved. If you want to be in the film, there's a perk for that. If you want to be at the premiere, there's a perk for that. If you want to be actually filmed in the movie with speaking lines, you can do that. So we're giving away all these great perks, but at the same time, if you can't afford that, you can always just share the information.
Sharing is powerful. I mean, if you can't afford it, share it. I mean, sharing it goes like wildfire, and that's that's another reason we're here. I want people to share. I share your stuff, you share my stuff. It's if you're into supporting and you believe in this, you believe in what I do and what McDojo does, give it a share. I mean, it doesn't hurt. We'll share you back, and that's that social media engagement content. We need that, so please do so. And I'm going to put all this stuff in the description. Where does one go to find this information?
you can go to Mcdojolife.com. That's McDojo life.com.
Perfect. So the whole point of the documentary is to expose these different things, step 1 to 5, if I will, and so people could really see what's going on out there. And I guess once that's out, what's next after that?
Well, it all kind of depends. So as of right now, a lot of things, like I said, depend on the crowdfunding. So for instance, like if right now we're trying to reach a smaller goal because we haven't reached the bigger goal. So we're trying to see like what we can do with that. But at the same time we're filming the documentary, we're actually filming a show. So if the documentary does well, then we'll already have footage from some of the greatest martial artists on the planet today. I mean, Dave LeDuc has agreed to be in the film, Master Ken, John Hackelman, John Wayne Parr, Robin Black, Karate by Jesse Inkamp has agreed to be in it. I mean, even like some old school legends like Pat Miletich has agreed to be in it. So we have so many great martial artists who have already agreed to be in the film. And then, it allows us to shoot kind of a show as well and start talking about topics that are a little more specific to like a show rather than a documentary. Like, for instance, like marijuana use in the martial arts. It's considered a performance enhancing drug for a lot of people. But I mean, for a lot of people, like if you're 35, 40 years old and you've been doing martial arts since you were a kid, your body's pretty banged up. So what are you going to do for pain relief? Are you going to do these highly addictive pain pills that'll kill you? Or maybe you smoke some weed,
I mean, pretty much. And not even that. You got CBD now that's widely used, and there's a lot of good benefits from it. So, if you don't like the psychoactive side of it, I mean, I actually know some martial artists here in Houston that I provide CBD to, and it helps. I mean, it helps. There's no, not everybody wants to feel high. You know what I mean? So now there's even more options.
And also it's a debate on whether or not it helps you in your martial arts training, not just the CBD, but like actual marijuana use. Like there are whole entire organizations that are dedicated to smoking weed when you train, like High Rollers. High Rollers is a tournament where you actually smoke weed right before you compete with each other, and you're competing for marijuana. And I have to say, after talking with a ton of people at that tournament, it's fascinating just how many people said that they got so much better after smoking weed and training. It was almost like their mind went to different places than it would if they were sober. It was very interesting conversations.
Very true. And you see, that's how we mix communities, and then we start intertwining things, and that also builds support for the marijuana community, because we all, a lot of us want legal marijuana across the United States. So I think that just strengthens the movement, and just makes more friends. And like, I didn't know you smoked weed and did karate. Me too. So that's pretty badass. I mean,
and there's a ton of topics we want to touch on, like how young is too young to get your kids into martial arts and full contact stuff. Like John Wayne Parr is a big advocate for it. He got his daughter very, very young, and he got a lot of heat for it, right? And some people don't think that children should be involved in full contact sports like that at a young age. So we get into like some great topics with that, like, well, how does it affect you with like CTE? Is it safe? Is it not? There's so much to really dive into that, our documentary will be talking about frauds, but if we're able to do the documentary and it goes well, we can do a show where we can talk on so many different subjects.
Of course. I mean, that would be a huge opportunity. I mean, to just expand on it. It's a lifestyle, so there's so much to talk about it. I know that I've seen, I think Sean Patrick Flannery. His kids also do martial arts, or he trains with them. I'm not too sure, but I've seen him in the gym with his children, and faking some moves here and there. But I'm assuming he trains his children.
Yeah, well, he's a third-degree black belt. He owns 2 studios. I mean, he's obviously a big advocate for martial arts, and he's been a supporter of the page for a long time. I just truly appreciate that dude.
Yeah, no, I've seen that, and I follow him, and I've seen his movies and all that, so I know about him. I'm in Houston, so we hear about him often, but he's definitely a supporter. I mean, I see so many people supporting you, man, and that's another thing. That's why I wanted to do this, because the more support, the better. And we just need more people that are into it. I'm not asking for bandwagon riders. No, just anyone who's into this topic and likes to support in any way, shape, or form. And you never know. I mean, you might find someone that's going to be involved in a bigger way, and that would be perfect.
Yeah, and how I can kind of see things, is like a lot of martial artists are willing to help other people. That's like their goal, right? They don't want to put other people down. They want to help people. And I think that's an amazing thing. And I don't really want to put people down either, but I kind of have an analogy that I like to use with this kind of thing, which is, if the fire has already started, going in and helping people is a good thing, right?
Right.
But let's say you're standing there outside that building and you see the arsonist about to commit the crime. Are you going to wait for the arsonist to set the building on fire so you can go help people? Or are you going to stop the arsonist? And so for me, this is about stopping the arsonist. I want to stop the people from getting brainwashed before they get into that, instead of going, man, your martial art sucks. Like, dude, that's not what it's all about. It's all about trying to help people make better, more informed decisions.
Interesting. That's pretty good, man. I didn't even think about that. That's a great analogy just for life in general, yet alone, martial arts and everything. But this is pretty cool, man. I definitely want to see it happen. I'm donating as well, so I'm gonna have some of those perks. And because I support, I'm gonna throw some money down. I'm gonna put the show up everywhere, and I want to get it out as much as I can, because everybody just needs to hear it. Let me ask you about this. Has Joe Rogan at all ever contacted you yet?
I mean, he's contacted me for reasons here and there, but he hasn't, most of the time it's like me reaching out to him every once in a while. But we do we're not as close as people think we are.
Right.
He has been a big supporter of the page, but it's more like, hey man, happy birthday. Oh, cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. Or man, happy, Merry Christmas. Oh, Merry Christmas to you. Shit like that. But it's not like we have these heart to heart conversations or anything. He's aware that the documentary is being worked on. So he's fully aware. Whether or not he decides that he wants to share that information or be a part of it, that's kind of in his in his support, So I don't want to bug the man either. I do appreciate the support, but I kind of get put in this weird situation where everybody's like, oh man, just tell him, he'll support it. You don't know that.
Yeah.
He's a grown man. I wish he would. That'd be amazing, but it's still his decision.
Hey, sometimes I'm lucky enough to just been acknowledged and got what I got from, that. But it's, it's a topic. I love Joe Rogan. I follow that dude. And I've been listening to so many years, and I respect him. And just like you said, it's not like, hey, I want to bug him. But I mean, it would be, of course, it would be great if he were to, jump on somehow, some way, because he's such a big figure in the community as well. But just a question, and you never know where it might go.
Yeah, I think what'll happen is it'll all kind of depend on how we do on our own. I think that'll make the biggest difference. I would love to interview him, especially as somebody who is in the industry. He's been in the martial arts for a very long time. He has multiple black belts. He's very talented. He's a good analyst. He has a very specific way of being able to convey information to people, and people obviously like that. So it would be cool. And of course, a lot of what we're going to be filming, a lot of the people we'll be filming, the psychologists, some of the fighters, some of the experiments we'll be doing, a lot of that will be kind of in and around the LA area. So it would be kind of neat to just, we're already going to be filming there. So I'll just reach out to him and just whenever we get to the filming part, and just say, hey man, would you be down for us to interview you, and just see if he'd be down. And if so, he will. And if not, he won't,
Yeah, no, of course. And he has a lot of positive things. And going back to the marijuana and martial arts, he's had a lot of injuries, and he always talks about how he's recovered, things that he's done. So that's definitely a good connection there with the, smoking weed, feeling better, martial arts, all of it. So, just another thing that's on topic.
Yeah, definitely.
So I appreciate you, Rob. I'm going to see this through. I'm going to be a donator. I'm going to help any way, shape, or form. And I want everyone that's listening to this to do the same, because I appreciate what you're doing. And I love to see people win, man. I want to see you win. I see that you're, just gaining more momentum, and it just can't stop. We got to keep it going.
Yeah, man, I'm persistent too. Especially when it comes to this, at this point in my career, I've been in the martial arts for 22 years, coming up on 23 in April. And,
Wow.
The last year has been dedicated, 6 years I've been doing Mcdojolife, almost 7. And coming up, it'll be one of those milestones for me. It'll be another year in the martial arts. And this is what I'd really like to do to help people in the community, kind of leave a mark in a positive way, just try to expose as many frauds as I can until I can't,
Well, of course. 23 years, man, almost as old as me. I'm almost 23. I wish. But that's what's up, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep grinding. Show us all how it's done, and because it's motivating. We are all motivated by your determination and motivation. So, and I love those nunchuck videos, man. Keep those coming because those are cool. Those are
Thank
cool.
you. I appreciate that.
You want to plug anything before we go?
No, man. If anybody would like to support one last time, you can go to McDojolife.com. There's all kinds of perks on there. We have all kinds of one-of-a-kind things that you will only get if you donate. Like we have custom gis that are only going to be for people who get to that tier, but they're one of a kind. You won't be able to get another gi like that ever again.
Nice.
We have, like I said, the ability to be in the film, the ability to work out with some of these guys that we're going to be interviewing, like all the fighters that I named off earlier.
Okay.
The ability to be on set when we do some confrontations, which I know some people would love to be there whenever we
Right.
some of the frauds. There's also the ability to go party with us at the YouTube studios, be there for the premiere.
Where's that?
Everybody else. So,
where's the YouTube studios?
YouTube studios has a few, but we're going to be doing ours in LA. So you can go hang out with us at YouTube studios. We're going to be doing a party there, just as a thank you for everybody who donated up to that point.
Nice.
We'll be doing Q&As. We're going to be, some of the guys who were a part of the film will be there. So we haven't solidified anybody yet, but I'm sure, since a lot of them live in LA, it will be very hard to get them to come hang out with us for a day. So, we're going to be doing a lot. So just go to the perks, man. Check it out at McDojolife.com and help us get our film made.
Yes. Perfect. Rob, I appreciate you. And that's it. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Go check him out. Go check me out. Share everything and keep it going. Peace.
Yeah, man.
All right, brother.
Thank you, dude.
Thank you for tuning in to another show. 2020's here. I'm a bit late, but this is the first episode of 2020. Still have a lot of guests lined up. If you made it this far to the end, I appreciate that because that's pretty cool. Do me a favor. Have a great day. Be kind to someone. Go out there and do your damn thing. Don't be scared. Go out there and fuck shit up, is how we say it. But I appreciate y'all again. I'm going to be doing more of these. Keep going. As many as I can. If you want to be on the show, let me know. You can leave messages. You can send me text messages through the Anchor app, and I can put them on the show. So if you want to be featured on the show, you got something to say, you want to talk shit, let me know. I'm all about it. I'm all for it. But again, I appreciate y'all, and let's keep going. Never stop. Keep running. Cash App. I hope you're using it, because everybody uses it. I use it like crazy. But if you're not, it's all good. You're here now. Hit the link in the description. You get $5, I get $5. $5 for nothing that's what I'm talking about. Cash App. I do have the Cash App card, by the way. That's pretty cool, because when people pay me with Cash App, it's like extra money to me. So I just use the Cash App card to buy random things that I probably don't need, but oh well. Cash App. Description. Click it. Join now.